Initiating System 1. System 1 loaded.
Information evolution could be defined as the process of changing from simple techniques of data and information processing to complex and advanced methods through inventions and innovations. Information evolution could be classified into 4 different stages, namely the invention of printing, the invention of radio and television, the invention of computers and linking up of computers with information and communications or ICT. And now, we are here to present to you the evolution of transmission of information through the years.
3000 BC. Sumerian writing system used pictographs to represent words. It is the earliest known writing system. 2900 BC. Beginnings of Egyptian hieroglyphic writing. It was only used to record important information about religion or the pharaoh. 1300 BC. Tortoise shell and oracle bone writing were used. Oracle bones are part of animal bone, which were used in the Shang dynasty of China. Research confirmed it to be the earliest known form of Chinese writing. 500 BC. Papyrus roll was used. Papyrus from which we get the modern word paper. 220 BC. Chinese small seal writing was developed. Seal script is an ancient style of Chinese calligraphy. 100 AD. Book Parchment Codex. A codex is essentially an ancient book consisting of one or more quires of sheets of papyrus or parchment folded together to form a group of leaves or pages. 105 AD. Woodblock printing and paper was invented by the Chinese. Woodblocks are amongst the oldest printing techniques originally used in carved and formed stamps and seals. Paper was first invented in China during the Han Dynasty around 105 AD by a government worker called Kai Lun. 1455. Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press using movable metal type. Around 1450, Johannes Gutenberg made a mechanical metal movable type printing press in Europe. Along with innovations in casting the type, Gutenberg's type pieces were made from an alloy of lead, tin, and antimony.
In 1755, Samuel Johnson wrote a dictionary of English language, and it is the most influential dictionary in the history of English language.
In 1802, the Library of Congress was established and the invention of carbon arc lamp. It is the first electric light.
And in 1824, Peter J. introduced the concept of how the brain sees individual images as a sequence of motion. 1830, Augusta Lady Byron writes the world's first computer program, or the first viable design for a digital computer. 1837, invention of the telegram in Great Britain and the United States. 1861, motion picture were projected onto a screen. 1876, Dewey Decimal System was introduced. 1877, Edward Muybridge demonstrate high-speed photography.
In 1899, Danish engineer Valdemar Poulsen, who created first magnetic wire recorder, also known as telegraphone. In 1902, Georges Méliès, a magician-turned filmmaker, introduced innovative special effects in the first real science fiction film, La Voyage dans la Lune, aka A Trip to the Moon. This was his 400th film, a narrative fantasy of a long shots strung together, punctuated with disappearances, double exposures, and other trick photography and elaborate sets. In 1906, Lee DeForest, American inventor of audio vacuum tube, which made live radio broadcasting possible. Around 1923, Zworykin created an all-electronic television camera tube he called the iconoscope. In 1936, Warner Brothers debuted Don Juan, the first Vitamin sound film developed by the Bell Telephone Laboratories and the first publicly shown talkie with synchronized sound effects and orchestral music, but no dialogue. In April 1939, RCA's National Broadcasting Company, NBC, introduced regularly scheduled electronic television broadcasting in America. In 1940, information science as a discipline has begun. In 1945, Vannevar Bush is normally considered the grandfather of hypertext since he proposed a system we would now describe as a hypertext system.
In 1946, ENIAC computer was developed. ENIAC was the first programmable electronic general-purpose digital computer. In 1948, Claude Shannon proposed the information theory. Information theory studies the quantification, storage, and communication of information. In 1957, planar transistor was developed by John Harney. 1958 was the launch of the first integrated circuit. It is a small chip that can function as an amplifier, oscillator, timer, microprocessor, or even a computer memory. In 1960s, Library of Congress developed LC-MARC, or the Machine Readable Code. In 1969, Unix operating system was developed. It is a stable, multi-user, multitasking system for servers, desktop, and laptops. In 1971, Intel introduced the first microprocessor chip. It is a silicon device that serves as the central processing unit for computers. In 1972, optical laserdisc was developed by MCA and Philips. It is a home video format and the first commercial optical disc storage medium. In 1974, MCA and Philips agreed on a standard video disc encoding format.
In the year 1975, Altair Microcomputer Kit was released, first personal computer for the public. In the year 1977, Radio Shack introduced the first complete personal computers. The introduction of Macintosh. In 1984, Apple Macintosh computer was introduced.
I am Macintosh. It sure is great to get out of that bed. Accustomed as I am to public speaking, I'd like to share with you a lesson I saw the first time I made an IBM mainframe.
Hey guys! In 1980s, artificial intelligence was separated from information science. In the year 1987, HyperCard was developed by Bill Atkinson to set back metaphor. In the year 1991, 450 complete works of literature on one CD-ROM was released. In January 1997, RSA encryption and network security software, Internet Security Code, cracked for a 48-bit number.
New technologies can provide a large amount of knowledge to the global community and at the same time maintain the malleability of information and the possibility of contribution by all. The trick for citizens in the information age is to be able to decide on the justifiability of the truth, just as their counterparts did in age of orality. Thus, with evolution throughout the history of communication technologies that affect our creation, transmission, and storage of knowledge, there will be continue to be changes in our conceptualization of knowledge.